Obey Jesus, saving Bitcoin. Jeremy Hain.
Just like I'm giving you the documents from the vault, just like I'm giving you information to Congress on COVID origins or what have you, what we find is what you're getting.
Okay, so now let's say in 2019, missing jail video from the first Jeffrey Epstein suicide, so for the first attempt, has been found. So maybe, let's put it into perspective, jails are not the most efficient, best run places. Yeah. It's not like
Fort Knox?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, we're working with what we got.
Right.
So, and listen, this guy's not the only guy to kill himself in prison. It happens, I don't know how often.
Right.
All the time.
Even if he killed himself in prison. So if he was murdered in prison, crazy, right?
Yeah.
You could see why very powerful people wouldn't.
Who the fuck is in charge of our country?
I don't know. Are we recording now?
Yeah, we've been. All this. We've been recording.
Oh.
It's just going to be a different format. Instead of just us, I'm going to go back and forth. I'm explosively fucking angry to the audience. But who the fuck is running our country? I voted for Trump. He puts Cash in, and Cash is talking like Comey about Epstein. Okay. Alright, we'll play Joe.
If he was murdered in segregated housing, in isolation, after being on suicide watch in a place in a detention center that I've physically been in myself, it would be fiction. It's just, in my experience, that is not doable.
It's not doable even for the most powerful and wealthiest people in the world?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think, though, that, like, if someone was in a position where a guy could release information that could potentially damage the most wealthy people on Earth, you would have a concerted effort that's unprecedented.
Sure.
You would have the resources that we couldn't even possibly comprehend, all pointing towards eliminating this one person that it could be done.
But, I mean, so many people have been implicated, right, already. And some of that information, what they did to Prince Andrew and everybody else is already out there. And so that's the conspiracy stuff that me, Bongino, and the folks have to say, look, we will give you everything we can, and then we will have done our job. Also, if I had a shred, me, Cash Patel, had a shred of evidence, the Russiagate guy, the Jan 6 guy, the COVID origins guy, had a shred of evidence that this guy was murdered, I would be the first guy to bring this case hard and fast. And I would even doing press conferences every.
And that's why he was put in. He's a cover guy. Look at my background. I've taken all kinds of heat because I did truth. Because I told the truth. Look at all the heat. That's why he was put in. Trump's filthy. I voted for Trump 3 times. I've never felt so fucking betrayed. I think Trump's fucking filthy.
Every week on it. Mm-hmm. The first guy. That's what I'm asking people to play out to the.
Epstein was being prosecuted for just understand that. Forget the word trafficking. Because I'm going to be insane today. Forget the word trafficking. Think about the kidnapping, the physical assault of a child to get them and transport them. So how does that work? Somebody got to get them. Maybe it's 2 guys. Somebody's sitting in a car. Maybe 2 guys... And they fight a little bit, and you need 2 guys, throw them in the car, the Jeep, the truck, and then there's a driver. Or maybe once he's in there, I don't know, you zap him with something, chloroform him, I don't know, just going off movies, right? Then one runs into the driver's side and drives away. We're cameras everywhere. Every shopping center, there's like 40 cameras. If you're anywhere near a bank, there's 30 cameras looking at you. Every Tesla got 10, 12 cameras. We know all of this. We're under constant, up your ass, microscopic fucking recording. And all these kids keep going fucking missing every year. No earthly idea where they go. Then you find out about an Epstein. So what's Epstein's? He's a broker. between the people that kidnap the child, put it in a van, a car, whatever, transport it to a place where then there's a video camera and a pedo, and then they rape it, record it, they're selling off fucking images, they're putting it on the dark web, they're putting out videos. They say a kidnapped, trafficked kid, it means it's a human trafficking for sex is a rape for profit scheme. They abduct, rape, rent them out to be raped for money, and the kid got about 2 years before it's dead. That's what I heard on a Dr. Phil episode. You get about 2 years before they're not so cute after all the rapes. And the pedos are like, I don't want that one. And in this world, we get a name, Epstein, a broker between high-profile guys that like to rape kids. He's got an island! He's got an island! With his own rules, and he's got a ranch in Nevada, and both get raided, and a New York City fucking Manhattan apartment with vaults, and a portrait of a fucking former president in a blue dress with red shoes. And I know too much about this because of Pizzagate and the research, and it's just too much. And they come out of they raid each one with trucks full of boxes of shit. And nobody knows anything, and there's no evidence anywhere. And Cash Patel is about to say, what you think is on there we don't have. You'd be bored. Meanwhile, he can't get his story straight because Pam Bondi made world fucking news saying there's tens of thousands of hours of videos with Epstein raping kids. Child sex abuse. So they can't even get their story right. And this is the fucking team that we elected Trump to get them. And what are we getting? This fucking Patel sounds like James Comey when the subject is fucking Epstein. Fine, he can talk about fentanyl. Sounds like John fucking Wayne, right? He's fucking Batman when you talk about Russiagate. What about fucking Epstein? Ghislaine Maxwell is in a fucking prison somewhere after multiple charges were proven that she sells children to be raped. To who? Epstein had lists. Ghislaine got lists. How come we don't have the lists? Fine, they're working on prosecutions. They can't give it up. Where are the arrests based on the lists? Where are the prosecutions based on the list? So this is what I'm saying to you. There is a group of people that can do whatever they want, including abduct and rape your children, and nothing happens to them. Even when caught, because they got so many connections up in the government. And until Donald fucking Trump, who I no longer trust or like, comes out with this list, he's in on it. He's fucking one of them in my fucking head till that fucking guy gets that information out. I'm tired of this. And in 2026, I'm voting all fucking Democrat if I don't get that fucking list. Alright, I'm done. I'm done for now.
Okay, well, I'm just getting over feeling better, guys. I'm just starting to feel better physically in the past couple of days, so I don't have as much steam rolling as my son right here. Doesn't mean I don't have the same passion. It's just physically I'm trying to get to 100%. So keep that in mind. All right. So what I can say truthfully is that if President Trump was somehow in these files, then what he's got to do is he's got to, and it sounds easy, I know, but it really is easy, actually. Wayne Dyer do what's easiest. He's got to come out on national TV like he did yesterday about another security type of thing he was telling us about. And then I think today earlier he came out and talked to us about something else that was equals importance for security. And I'm all for security of our country, okay? It's one of the reasons I voted him in, because he's big on the border. I just want that out there. But he's got to come out like that and put its equal to importance on this subject, that what his involvement, if any, was with Epstein, and get our attention. Many people watch him when he comes out live. Okay, I see how many people. There's millions, so that people are to know, especially on this subject. They want to know. Okay, because I see some of the comments on these types of things. Okay, on these podcasts, that American people like me and my son and my family, we want all to be revealed, right? So I think that what Trump has to do, it would be the easiest thing, is go on national TV on a spot that he did on these other equal important things for security, and come out and just tell us American people, look, this is what I was involved with, okay? If anything, whatever it was, okay? Whatever his link might be that Elon Musk is now saying he's in the files, okay? Because prior to this, Musk never spoke an ill word about Trump, but now he is. So I have to ask the reason why now would he be doing this? And that's not to say that I believe that Trump isn't involved. I'm saying that all this time that they were good buddies, okay? Because let's face it, they were doing good work together, and all of a sudden they have a rift and they're not. And then people are speculating, is it real or is it real? But it doesn't matter, okay? All of a sudden, after all this time goes by, he now says that Trump was in the files. So that's what I have to ask my question. What is Musk's motivation for all of a sudden coming out and accusing? That is a huge thing to accuse anybody of.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already been shot in the ear for us. He's already been assassinated, tried to 2 more times after that. So, not counting all the stuff he's been doing, been involved with and had against him to get to the point where he's at to be in the seat to do what he wants to do for us, that he's been keeping his promises. So on that score of note of good, okay, don't let this be the hammer that knocks him off the good chart that he's been doing. Trump's noted for his charts, right? He loves charts. Well, let this be one where this is not knocked off of a chart where, oh my gosh, all the good he's done is erased automatically because the American people now think he was with the files of Epstein. So that's what I'm saying, guys. That's a big, huge thing to say somebody's been involved with. My thing is, why all of a sudden has Musk said this? Why? And also, if that's true and he is or was in the files, why would you, Musk, be involved with Trump in any aspect of anything politically or anything and not have his name attached to him if he knows this? So there are 2 things right there, okay? So I just want that out there for people to think about. We can all get very passionate, angered for good reason, but like I said, I'm just getting over. I'm not even quite there yet, guys. So seriously, I don't have the passion right now he does, but believe me, I agree with everything he's saying. But when I feel better, I'll probably be more rageful. But right now, I'm not, because I don't feel good. So yeah. But anyways, so yeah, that's the thing I want to say. If Trump wants to square it with us American people, and come on national TV, take the spot like he did for the equal things for security to tell us what he's done and what he's into, an emergency, and that this is a national emergency, right, guys? Okay, about our children, of the world, our future. And the past victims and women and whoever else, okay, were hurt in any way. So he can take this as a national emergency moment, come on TV live, tell us, this is what my relationship was to him, if any. Why was he at Mar-a-Lago? Why? Was he on the plane? Why? Was he ever on the island? Why? Or wasn't he? And just come out and tell us. How many of us, hundreds of millions, voted the guy in? How many times has he been voted in to be one? Not even counting the one who was stolen from him. Okay, so give the man his due. All right, let him have the opportunity. Let him take the opportunity. Come on national TV as a national emergency moment and say, "This is what's going on." Forget about the rumors you're hearing. Put it to rest already, sir. That's what I'm saying. And then that's it. The other thing is, I don't know about Cash Patel, what his motives are, other than being fired from a job, which, we've all been at one time or another fired from a job, I'm sure. But anyways, I don't know why he is seeming to be talking about things he wants to talk about, but not talking about the things that are asked of him. I don't know. I don't have a mystical ball. So I don't know that yet. I don't even know him very well yet. I've been trying to research him, but I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
I was so excited for him to
And
become
Pam
FBI
Bondi,
director.
I'll cover her too. Pam Bondi, same thing. I don't know much about the lady. I know she's got a big job ahead of her. I understand her reasonings for protecting children of under 18s, names and all that, and not having them relive through crap. That I understand completely. But anybody in power to have helped, aided, guarded, protected Epstein, that Maxwell lady, or anybody else involved, I don't see why they, if they're adults, can't be told to us Americans to let us know. It's like last night I mentioned this to my son about JFK. 60-some years ago, people, put yourself back there, right? Everybody, including my own father, the blue-collar guy who only voted for one president, out of place was Kennedy, okay? Anyways, think of those times where everybody knew where they were when JFK was shot, right? And hold that moment, okay? So you're there, and you're saying, oh, we got to know what's going on. I mean, who shot him? 60-some years later, as it was promised all those years, somewhere in the future, guys, it's going to come out. Well, yeah, it did come out, but you know what? It didn't tell us anything. It didn't tell us anything that we didn't all surmise that who did it, who didn't do it. It didn't really say who was it. It was all eradicated out. Are we going to make this the same thing? Is this Epstein file situation going to be the same thing for 2024, 2025? That 60-some years from this point on, we all have to say the same thing, and well, I'm dead off the earth by then. My ancestors or my, descendants will say, oh, yeah, well, it might be coming out 60-some years. And, 60-some years is here now. Somewhere, what is 2000, what is that, 80-something or whatever, 60-some years, okay? They're going to be saying, well, they're releasing the files. And then what? Are they going to be like it was with JFK's files that everybody waited for 60-some years? Eradicated out? So what my point is here, truth always comes out. Truth will always come out. And it never said when or how long it takes. All I know is that I've experienced myself that truth comes out. I'm just going to speak for myself. In situations I've been in, truth always comes out, guys. So however long it takes, it doesn't matter. We'll know the truth, okay? We'll know it. Whether we agree with it or not like it, that's something different. But something will always come out. So Donald Trump, President Trump, okay, owes the American people what we voted him in for. And Donald Trump, president person, okay, he is a person like us, human. He is, I will give him the benefit of the doubt because of all the stuff he's done good for us. And especially he has done good for the kids too. So I will say I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on this. But for that, he could come on national TV as a national emergency, like he done for security things, and came on like he did today and yesterday. This is it, American people. This is, if I had any relationship, this is what it is. What did I do? Who was I with? What was the reason? And just tell us. This way we could put it to rest for any rumors. All that Musk is all of a sudden, guys, saying, which is a grain of salt. My father, a Marine, always said, take it with a grain of salt, Lydia. Because, I could be rageful too, okay, when I feel good physically. So I think of my father, and he's right. Give them, take it with a grain of salt. So why is Musk now coming out with this all of a sudden? And if it's true, why did he put his name with Trump all this time? If he just found out, I have a hard time believing somebody in his power of a billionaire operation in his life that he's gotten to. He's a very bright person. I have a hard time believing that all of a sudden he found out when this has been going on with him. Okay, I don't believe much coincidences in life. Even my therapist used to say that to me, that I don't give too much on coincidence. Whether that's true or not doesn't matter. What's true is that in this situation, I do find it that it is a coincidence. Maybe, I don't know, but all I know is all this time he was a buddy with Trump and helping us, and then they have something happen between them, and then now all of a sudden he's telling us the one biggest way you could hurt a man, right? One biggest way you want to get Achilles heel, you want to get the devil in his due. What would you do? You get the one thing that would be so despicable that he could have done and put that on him. He could have said anything else, right? But that one, right when we're all waiting for the episode, he is trying to stir the pot for sure, and he's trying to get our emotions up even more. Why? So they're the reasons. They're the things I'm asking.
Okay, I'm sorry. Are you done?
Yeah.
I don't want to truncate you.
No.
So I don't care about Elon. I'm talking about him because, all right, let's just play. He's downplaying, and that means they're setting up to release a nothing burger.
Logical conclusion. I'm not Comey. I'm not McCabe. I'm not the guy that was in the seat before. I have a wildly different background. I've been putting out the truth my entire career. Why would I risk all of it on this guy?
I believe you. Catch the letter.
Oh, yeah.
I believe you.
You hear his voice. Joe Rogan don't believe him. I'm no fucking body language expert, but I'm 45. I've been around. I'm kind of smart. My life's kind of good. All right. I got a top 1% the world lifestyle. I'm not gonna go into detail, but my lifestyle's top 1%. Most of the world wish they could live like me. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm pretty fucking smart. When somebody says to you, I believe you, and he can barely get his voice out because he thinks of himself as an honest man, he don't believe you. Now watch Cash continue to downplay it. Also, Cash, you ain't earned the fucking trust me shit. And I'm a guy that was excited. I read your book. I was excited for Trump to win so that you'd be involved. I didn't know. I was hoping for, one of the attorneys in the Department of Justice, maybe a top investigator, maybe an NSC advisor. I don't know. I didn't think FBI. When I found out you were the guy for the FBI, I was fucking thrilled. You remember? I was thrilled. I was so happy.
You referred his stuff to me, his books.
I told several people, read Government Gangsters, because it's a great book.
Yeah.
Where is that guy? Because he ain't in this interview. And where's Donald Trump? Because he ain't the president right now. I'm so fucking... We have to know why candidate Obama is nothing like President Obama. We have to know why candidate Trump ain't nothing like President Trump. What happens? Is it day one? Is it a month out? When do they get to you and tell you how things really work? Who is it? Who is running our country? They're so comfortable now. Just not giving a fuck. Quiet people in the shadows run things. They had a mummy be the president with an auto pen. A fucking mummy was the president for 4 years with an auto pen. That's how fucking relaxed, confident, and fucking cozy they are. That we secretly run shit, and there ain't fucking shit you can do about it. Alright, we're back.
The problem is we've been fuming on this conspiracy for so long. And we love conspiracies, don't we?
Oh, it's good.
As a country,
It's
there's
good,
so
right?
much fun.
I mean, they make good
JFK
TV.
tapes, come on, like release the documents. We all love them. We love them. We love UFO ones. We love everything. We love the craziest conspiracies. They're exciting. We don't want to hear
They're
that he
entertaining.
tried to kill himself in July and then succeeded in August. And look, I could imagine why the guy wanted to kill himself. He was going to jail for the rest of his fucking life, and in jail, sex offenders for children are not treated well.
And also, by the way, most Americans haven't, nor should they. Have you ever spent 1 minute in segregated housing?
No.
It's the worst. The absolute worst. Like, you and your background, you could probably handle it, right? Like, just in all reality. Most Americans, you put them in there for 5 seconds, they're going to slam their head against the wall. Literally. They're going to lose their mind.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
It's that bad.
I'm sure. I could only imagine. And I could only imagine this guy knowing that it's over. And what do you want to do? Do you want to...
Yeah, and
I mean,
then
who knows who the fuck he's working for? Let's just put that aside. Now, if you're working for... Let's just... We don't have to name names. We don't have to speculate. If he's working for some agency, some group, some foreign group, and they decide to target his family because he's going to jail for the rest of his life. And
Is Joe Rogan trying to say the Mossad, and he's scared too?
anyway, they decide to target his family if he testifies against them. I could see where if I thought that it was like I'm going to be in jail for the rest of my life, or I tell and my family winds up being killed or destroyed, or who knows, maybe you'd say, look, the honorable thing is to end it in prison.
Honorable, cowardly thing.
Whatever it is. Like, you just
also,
decide.
At some point, that guy was going back into Gen Pop. And the one thing I'll tell you about prison systems is the people they eat are child predators.
Yes.
And he was going to get eaten.
Well known. Yeah. And they probably wouldn't have protected him. Yeah. So the narrative has always been that there's video. Now, what is the chain of custody? Is there evidence that there is video? Is there evidence that it was moved around, stored, protected from people looking at it? Like,
you're going to get all that information. Like, that's literally what we're putting together. And we're going to give you every single thing we have and can. And that's the whole point. We can't fill gaps by making stuff up, and we're not going to do that.
And you have to be methodical.
And we have to be, that's the other thing, right? We're reviewing not just the video, we're reviewing everything as meticulously as we can, because that's what we owe the American people. That's our job. And I don't want to rush to the sticks or the podium and just say, hey, look what we found.
Right.
And then be like, oh, sorry, I forgot the 4 seconds. If we miss 4 seconds, they'll be like, oh, well, it's in the 4 seconds you missed.
Right.
So I'm
How much can you talk about what you've seen?
Not yet. Just what I've told you.
Can you say you've seen anything?
No, that's the point, that there's nothing in there, like in the video. You guys would be bored.
You talking about the video of the murder or the suicide?
The suicide.
But what about the video from the island?
Oh, that's sorry. So you're talking about two different things. So
sorry.
So again, we're going to give you everything we can, and people have to remember, we're not going to re-victimize women. We're not going to put that shit back out there. It's not happening, because then he wins. Not doing it. You want to hate me for it? Fine. Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island, and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
If you have access to it.
If I have it.
No, I no longer think that. I no longer trust you. You trust him?
I'm not convinced by him now.
You burnt the trust with this interview. And the fact, look, I'm not saying put out a website with a bunch of child sacrificing, child rape videos and everybody sees it. But where are the arrests and prosecutions citing that information? Because what it looks like right now is Epstein got arrested and he's dead before he went to trial, so no public record could be made. And then Ghislaine Maxwell, and the entire testimony was sealed by the judge. The whole point of a trial is public record, and it was all sealed by a judge. I'm not supposed to be suspicious, and then nothing happens. You don't hear of a prosecution of anybody for being customers of a broker that brought children to be raped by powerful rich men. And then he's saying, oh, you'll be bored. Pam Bondi. All right.
No, the FBI, the FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement.
James Palmer said yesterday that all
Okay, so that's not a figment of my imagination, right? You just saw that. So Pam Bondi says tens of thousands of hours. And he's saying, what did he say?
Period.
Right.
If I had.
That there is video? Is there evidence that it was moved around, stored, protected from people looking at it? Like,
You're going to get all that information. Like, that's literally what we're putting together. And we're going to give you every single thing we have and can. And that's the whole point. We can't fill gaps by making stuff up, and we're not going to do that.
and you have to be methodical.
And we have to be, that's the other thing, right? We're reviewing not just the video, we're reviewing everything as meticulously as we can, because that's what we owe the American people. That's our job. And I don't want to rush to the sticks or the podium and just say, hey, look what we found.
Right.
And then be like, oh, sorry, I forgot the 4 seconds. If we miss 4 seconds, we'll be like, oh, well, it's in the 4 seconds you missed.
Right.
So I'm
How
pretty
much can
confident.
you talk about what you've seen?
Not yet. Just what I've told you.
Can you say you've seen anything?
No, that's the point. That there's nothing in there, like in the video. You guys will be bored.
You talking about the video of the murder or
yeah.
the suicide?
The suicide.
But what about the video from the island?
Oh, sorry. So you're talking about two different
Yes.
things. So
Sorry.
So again, we're going to give you everything we can, and people have to remember, we're not going to re-victimize
Twitchy.
women. We're not going to put that shit back out there. It's not happening, because then he wins. Not doing it. You want to hate me for it? Fine. Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island, and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
If you have access to it.
If I have it. Period.
Right.
If I have it.
So,
Where else would it be?
right. If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have it
No, we're giving you everything we have.
so far.
Everything we have so far is
Have
the
you
universe.
guys gone over all the video that's available?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what takes so much damn time.
Right.
And
And is there video from the island?
not of what you want. The people out there have filled the void with can't wait to see X, Y, or Z.
Right. Speculation.
The people. How about your fucking boss? Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi.
Let me read this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I listened to this, guys, all right? I just read this actually, I think, either today or yesterday.
Can you just say the chapter and verse?
Yeah, Romans 12 and 13 and 14. And it's on page 202. Duties towards state authorities. Everyone must obey state authorities, and because no authority exists without God's permission, and the existing authorities have been put there by God. Whoever opposes the existing authority opposes what God has ordered, and anyone who does so will bring judgment on himself. For rulers are not to be feared by those who do good, but by those who do evil. Would you like to be unafraid of the man in authority? Then do what is good, and he will praise you, because he is God's servant working for your own good. But if you do evil, and then be afraid of him, because his power to punish him is real. He is God's servant and carries out God's punishment on those who do evil. For this reason, you must obey the authorities, and not just because of God's punishment, but also as a matter of conscience. That is also why you pay taxes, because the authorities are working for God. When they fulfill their duties, pay then what you owe them, and pay them your personal property taxes, and show respect and honor for them all. So I can't speak for God, okay? This is from my son's old Bible from when he was in elementary school. Don't mind the CVS brown bag, okay? I'm one for doing brown bag on everything. Yeah, so if you can have your own interpretation of what I just read to you, but it is the Bible. I mean, if you don't believe me, you can see that it does say, I have it covered up like what I said with a CVS bag, but you say in print that it is in fact a Bible, God's Bible, okay, from Catholic school. Anyways, so you can take interpretations from anything you want. That's God gave us all free will to have our own opinions and our own thought systems. So yes, we are supposed to obey the law of rule law. That's anybody and everybody. I would think that he means everybody and anybody. So he's the highest authority, right? God. And then he puts people in place to be authority on earth. Okay. So President Trump is our next chief. Okay. If you want to, for words that I'm looking for to say. Okay. So if he's the chief of our America, then he would be best suited to do, like I said, a national emergency broadcast like he did for yesterday and today for security things that he wanted to tell us about. This is a security issue because it has to do with live children, okay? And women and men, whoever was abused, okay, and trafficked, okay? So it is security. It is security, okay? People security, not border security, okay, which is important, of course, or espionage or terrorism. That's all important. But this is people security, very important. I would think that it'd be best suited for Donald Trump, knowing that he is promising us everything and keeping his word for everything. Well, then this is very high up there. So make this a national security moment of a national emergency TV live spot on TV. Talk to the American people. Let us know to diffuse rumors that Musk has said that he's in the files. Or tell us what his relationship, if any, to Epstein's name, period, okay, was. And tell us what it was. And we could take it, believe me. We just put 4 years of hell on divided for everything. I mean, you know, I'm sure we can take it, okay? What we can't take, I think, if I could speak for all of us just in this moment, is smoke and mirrors. Or lies.
I asked you earlier, do you remember the movie Philadelphia? I asked you that.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody here watching remembers the movie Philadelphia. A recurring question Denzel Washington keeps asking is, talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old. You know, to try to get the people talking to him to speak as simply as possible. Because he's trying to make a point. The government has been treating the population like 5-year-olds since they murdered John F. Kennedy. And the term conspiracy theorist was created by the government to make fun of the people that questioned that Dulles report. The government killed John F. Kennedy, and then everybody that's like, well, that's a bullshit story, you got called a conspiracy theory. The government invented the term conspiracy theory to cover up JFK and write off as crazy or lunatic anybody that didn't believe a magic bullet. They told you a magic bullet killed the president.
Yeah. One bullet.
And then they told you they landed on the moon and it's a live broadcast and
So, guys and girls listening, leave a comment if you could for Jeremy, letting them know what you think. Do you agree that a good way of Donald Trump being able to let us, the American people, know anything, if there was anything to this rumor, or is it a rumor, is it real, from Musk, then he could come on. Do you agree that he should come on TV like he's done for security breaches and letting us know that he put that as a national emergency, because this is a national emergency when it comes to our children who are the future of our world? Okay, for the innocent victims who are in the past and for any present ones now, or possible, God forbid, future ones. Should he come on TV and as a national emergency, live spot on TV like he did the others, and say, look, I know you heard, that I was at the island. This is what happened. This is what it is. This is what happened. This is.
Well,
Or do you think he shouldn't and just let us go on and on with this rhetoric and believe Musk, possibly? Because I'm not convinced by anything that's going on between those two, by the way. I don't know if it's show or not. It doesn't matter.
Elon and Trump could be theater, and Elon didn't say
It doesn't matter.
that Trump was on the island.
He said
But
he's
definitely trying to say that he's calling Trump a pedo.
He's saying he was in the files.
He's in the files.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that, do you all agree or not agree with him taking that time? I mean, this is an equally important thing, right? The security of our people, and especially our children. And come on and say, yeah, you know what? This is what my connection to him is, or was. Okay? Once and for all. Because, the devil always knows what's going on, right? Well, if you speak the truth, the devil doesn't like that. But if you go and hide under a rock somewhere, you're feeding the devil's ego. So, let him come out, Trump come out, tell the truth. He's a Christian, right? We all love the truth. We don't like lies, right? Or deceit. And we don't like to be made fools of. So, that's humanness. So, have Donald Trump come out. Do you agree that he should come out, make it a national emergency moment, and say, look, this was my connection? Okay, so then you can all disband, millions who voted for me, you can all put that to rest. Or, if it's not a rumor, he'll have to explain how would it be that Musk would all of a sudden, after all this time working with the president, say he was in the files.
Also, let's say all you have is a book, a calendar, Epstein, Maxwell, with appointments, names, and that's all you got, right? Somebody from fucking Delaware or Cincinnati, Chicago, wherever. Just a guy, a name, and that they're a client. And that's all you have. So you don't have enough to prosecute, right? Because there's no witness. You have to release that name because they might be an active child rapist. The screen just went black, but the recording should still be going. You're talking about an active child rapist. So at least put the name out so that the people in their circle know not to take him up on his offer to take your kids to a ball game. How about that? The fentanyl crisis, it's not as big as the disappearing children crisis. Fentanyl only harms you if you're taking illegal drugs. Don't do that. And fentanyl's not a part of your life. I can control that. And I don't have kids, but I do have friends with kids, and I have a niece and a nephew. So, and even if I had no connection to children, I mean, then, there's all kinds of things in the world that are bad, but then there's stuff that's just full on, just obviously evil. And to do that, to rape a child, we're talking about the worst thing you can do. You're the bottom. You're the bottom. And to have this information and not release it, not release the client list. I don't think Donald Trump's a pedo. it's established that Donald Trump threw Epstein out of his club, and it's established that he helped a lawyer try to sue Epstein because he knew he couldn't get justice through the government of Florida or the federal government, so he tried to use lawsuit. And Trump's like the only person to help him. So I don't think Trump's a pedo. But there's aiding and abetting, right? There's the guy that drives the getaway van, so it's more convenient to kidnap a kid with a driver. And so there's aiding and abetting, but you're not actually doing the raping. And there's also aiding and abetting after the fact. Like you find out 2 weeks later, at that point you have to call the police. Well, these deals that these district attorneys and federal prosecutors make, they're determining this prosecutorial, what do they call that? Prosecutorial discretion. What is that? You're letting somebody decide, even though they got evidence, who they're going to prosecute and who they're going to let go? It's just, when I was a kid, at different times in my life, I was overwhelmed with how shitty a species humanity is. And I'm back to it. And, a big part of voting for Trump was payback for Biden. But, getting the Epstein stuff out and breaking up these circles was just a huge part of it. And getting payback. Because I require justice. One of the Beatitudes, those that thirst for justice will be satisfied. And I'm not talking about revenge. I'm talking about justice. I believe God will take care of all of that, the Epsteins of the world. But, we got to protect children from getting abducted and raped. So if the president is making deals, because he's a fucking deal maker, and a part of that is we don't get the list, what if there's 1,000 motherfuckers on that list? And what if half of them have $10 million? And the other half have more than $1 million. That's a lot of money to get your favorite hobby accomplished. You don't get to fucking play let's make a deal, I'm Donald Trump with that information. And I don't give a fuck about your tax cuts no more or overtime. I don't give a fuck about anything else in your fucking agenda, guy. I want fucking justice. And I don't need you for Bitcoin, Trump. America needs Bitcoin. Bitcoin don't need you. I don't need you for anything else. I need justice. And I need to stop thinking that humanity is just a pile of dog shit. Do your fucking job. We need these names out. Or at least start citing some prosecutions that sprang forth from the list. Because right now, it looks like Epstein was caught being a broker for child rapists and rich guys. And you're in videos with him over the years partying. Don't look good. I don't think Trump's a pedo, but that don't look good. And he's brokering these deals with abducted children for rape. And then you got the whole QAnon stuff and all those disgusting details. Pizzagate. Doesn't Epstein prove there's a little bit of merit to international child trafficking syndicates? I don't know if a pizza spot in D.C. was involved, but Epstein proves the crux of the issue with Pizzagate, not that parlor, but that there's an international trafficking syndicate with little logos and code words that they use to speak to each other. Epstein proves all that, and then Weinstein and Hollywood and all the satanic shit. And if you're making deals, Trump, that's hiding this shit, your tax cuts don't mean dick. You're fucking no tax on, overtime and tips? I make money as a trader. I don't give a fuck. I want to live in a world where fucking a kid can be loose from its mother for 8 seconds because she looks at a fucking sale, and when she turns around, it's still there. because there are spotters and abductors just all constantly on the lookout, looking to feed the machine of international child trafficking, rape for profit, because you wanted to get some investment into the country. Those dollars aren't that important, bro. And my trust for Trump is gone, and I don't like him right now. And I don't even care what Elon says. That could be theater, or it could be because he is pissed about the EV. I'm reacting to Patel clearly downplaying it. Even though Pam Bondi says they got 10,000 hours of it. Which tells me they're getting ready to release another FBI redacted nothing burger because they hid all the good stuff over here. And this isn't about some inside Baltimore, inside the Beltway political baseball. This is about international trafficking of children.
So, guys, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you not agree? Like I said, the only way for truth to come out from Trump on this now is for him to come out and make it a national emergency like he did for security breaches, like he did yesterday and today, and come on and let us know what his relationship, if any, to Epstein. Is there any truth to what Musk is saying about him being in the files? And just let us know, face to face, like the old Face the Nation it used to be on. And just let us know once and for all. And then we can get on with our, hoping and wishing and everything and praying more that God intercedes, which he's been doing anyway, because he does that for all of our behalfs. And he'll find out who the bad guys are, okay? And within his mysterious ways of, God doing what he does to do justice on others, he'll do that. That's not for me to say. I'm just saying that I ask God in my own way for my own prayers, as we all do. If I can't punish someone, that because I can't, I'd be upsetting God. So that's why I say that. That's my disclaimer, okay? Because God knows my heart as he does know everyone's. But let us know what you think. Should Trump do that? It would be a good way for him to save face with us. Let us know instead of hearing what we're hearing. And do you think that what's going on between Musk and Trump is real? Or is it, like Jeremy said, theater? I had thought that myself too, until today when I found out he was putting a suit against Musk for, what is it called?
Defamation.
Defamation.
Well, now I no longer think it's theater because they sent Cash Patel and Joe Rogan to go do, help smooth stuff over. So I get ready for an Epstein nothing burger, and I just think it's just the worst possible decision. But, it was Trump or that lady.
Pam Bondi.
No, it was Trump versus Kamala.
Oh, Kamala. Oh.
I mean, look at the choices we get. Trump versus Kamala.
That's why I think.
And regardless, top pedos, they just get to keep on raping children.
That's why I say it is a national emergency because of the security of our children, and he needs to come on and let us know and face us like he does a national emergency for security. Take the TV spot, half hour, whatever it is that they do, and let us know what his connection, if any, was to Epstein. Is there any truth to him being in the files? And let us know from him to us, because we're the ones that voted him in. And that way we don't have to go through third parties. Who wants to go through third parties, okay? We don't want, I know I'm exhausted by people coming on saying this and that and disparaging things. I'd rather know what it is. So that's me. I'd rather him come on and say, this is my connection, this is what happened, yes or no, I'm in the files. Why was I? Was I at the island? What was my connection? Period.
And this, if you want to know what I want to get me back on Team Trump, I want prosecutions, and I want the lists made public, and let the people whose names are on it, if they're innocent, hey man, what's Cary Grant say to the Nazi at the end of Notorious? That's your headache.
That's your headache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You figure it out.
And that's a good move.
You go explain to people why your name's on that list.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ain't for Trump or the DOJ to be like, well, let's make sure he's friends with his neighbors still. That's not your fucking job. Let the people whose names are on the list explain themselves. Because maybe there'll be a bunch of lawsuits that from people that they might have already raped. Who'll be like, oh, maybe people will believe me now. I want prosecutions and I want the names of those lists. So that at least we can protect some future people. Maybe somebody won't let somebody babysit. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Trump. I feel like a dumb fuck for voting for him right now. I don't like feeling like I got played. Alright, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
And I'm like, here's the other thing I've been asking for, right? Openly. If you have information on this, call us.
Obey Jesus, saving Bitcoin. Jeremy Haynes.